Hi, and welcome to another Digital Crafts episode. Today we're going to be making a space double exposure picture that's going to look just like this. Okay, first we're going to go to photopea.com. I have it bookmarked here, but you can just enter photopea.com up in the address bar and it'll take you here. Next, we're going to go to Open from Computer and we're going to select our image. Now, a good image to use for this is one with a solid color background that's different from what you want to cut out in the foreground. This isn't ideal because of the highlight right here, but it'll work okay for our purposes. Next, we're going to go up here to Lasso. We're going to click and hold, and we're going to select Magnetic Lasso. The magnetic lasso sort of sticks to surfaces that it thinks you might be trying to cut out when you're using it. I'll show you how that works right now. So you just go ahead and click. There'll be a little bit of a delay, and then you see a little waypoint appears right there, and as I go along, you can see it kind of hugs to the edge of the image. It's going to do this better in some places than in other places, but we're just going to go ahead and just let it go along here. You can left click to manually place a waypoint if it's getting a little crazy. And if it's not perfect, don't worry about it because we can clean it up in a second. Just want to lead it down here to the bottom of the frame and run it up to the top. Then over to this corner, then down here, and then just go back up around. So you can see sometimes you're going to need to double back and kind of handhold a little bit to get it to go where you want. Other times it's going to act pretty smart on its own. And like I said, we can sort of clean it up afterwards. So if it's a little bit messy, don't worry about it. And then once you hit your original waypoint, you'll see that it switches modes and now it's in selection, which is good, but right now it has the background selected, not the subject, so we're going to need to invert that. So we go up here to select and go to inverse, and then it doesn't look a whole lot different, but right now the subject is selected, not the background, which is good. Now we're just going to go over down here and add raster mask. And you can see it goes ahead and cuts out around the selection here. And you can see that there is some background here and some different places. So now we're going to clean that up. So as you can see over here, the actual mask is just white for the area that we want to keep and then black for the area we want to cut out. So to repair it, we literally just use brushes with black or white colors. So if I have it set to black right now, and I'm going to go ahead and make my brush a little bit bigger, and you can see I can just paint out the little bits that I don't want. And the inverse is true also. If there's some sections that, see, I accidentally get in here, oh, that's too bad. I can switch to white, and then I can just brush it back. Like so. Or if I suspect that maybe it went in a little too far there, I can just brush it back like so. And you see we get a little background also, but that's okay. So we can just switch right on back. And just brush it back out. Okay. And then, as per usual, I recommend zooming in to do the detail work. It's just going to make it a lot neater, a lot easier. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, that is good enough for demonstration purposes. You can see you zoom in by holding down Control and hitting the plus sign, and then zoom back out by holding down Control and hitting the minus sign. You can scroll back and forth by holding down Control and scroll wheeling up or down, and then just scroll wheeling up or down to go up or down with the image. Now we're going to go ahead and go over here and select the underlying image rather than the mask. We're going to go up to Images, Adjustments, and Desaturate, turn it black and white, and then Image, Adjustments, and Brightness and Contrast, and turn the contrast up like so. Now we are going to go over to this new tab I have prepared here and search for galaxies. As you can see, I searched for galaxy here, searched for images here, and it did not actually search for size large, but that is probably a good idea for you to do. So you just do that by going to Tools, like so, Size Large. And then this is the image of the galaxy that I picked out earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and right click, go to Save Image As, save it here, and then I'm going to import it as a new layer into my Photopea project by going to File, Open in Place, selecting it like so. And I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees so it fits a little bit better, and then stretch it out over the rest of the frame. And since we're actually not using all of this, you can stretch it out for more than the frame if you want, if you think that'll look better. But you'll be able to judge that in a second. So once we have this placed, you see it creates a new layer in my layer box right over here. I'm going to right click on this layer and select Clipping Mask, like so. And you see now the outline of the subject has the galaxy laid over it. But we want it to be sort of translucent, be a blend of both. So rather than normal blend mode, we're going to select Screen, like so. Now we can go up here into Normal Move tool, and then I can drag around this until I'm happy with the placement over subject. And I can also mess with the opacity if I want. So make it a little more subtle, make it a little more bright, so on and so forth. I'm going to leave it pretty bright for this project, but depending on what you're doing, you might want to make it a little less opaque. So now we're going to open a new tab, and we're going to search for a space background. And again, we go up here to Tools, Size Large, because this is going to be filling the entire background, so we want something that won't be too artifacty. I like this one, so I'm going to right click on it, go to Save Image As, and save it. Go back over to Photopea, and again, File, Open in Place. Like with the other one, I'm going to go ahead and rotate it 90 degrees so it doesn't get super stretched out looking, at least one way, when I stretch it out to cover the background there. And then I'm just going to click and drag it to below all the other layers, and we have it in the background there. So you see right now, it's looking a little rough. You can see sort of the jagged edges of the mask along the edge of the subject. So I could go back in and fix that, but what I'm going to do instead is just double click on the actual mask right here, and then I'm going to turn the feather up. That's going to soften the edge, and it's going to give kind of a glow also, like so. Okay, and then that is about it. So I'm going to go to File, Export As, PNG, Save. Okay, and there we have our space double exposure. If you like this video, please check out some of the other videos like it on our YouTube channel, or just some of the other cool stuff that we do there. Thank you, and have a nice day.